Hey, how's it going? Jason Abbott here with Offroad Underground, and today we have the 2023 KTM 300 XC. As most of you have seen, KTM recently announced their 24 model lineup. I purchased this earlier this year. I knew that the 24s were going to be updated, but I didn't want to wait. I wanted everything that the 300 had to offer for the Idaho trails. Something that makes this bike a little bit different and this build a little bit different is that I was trying to basically come up with an everything bike, right? The elusive everything bike, right? Currently I have a couple other motorcycles. I have a track motorcycle, I have a trail bike, adventure bike, etc. But what I was finding is that the bikes that I had were fairly good in each of their own disciplines, but I was looking for something that kind of covered the ground across everywhere. So to give you an idea of the riding that I do, we'll do trails up here in Idaho, single track, 2-track, and then also I ride the dirt bike tracks with my son. And so I wanted something that I can go to the track with, I can actually have fun. It had good power, good suspension, but then also something that is more set up for the type of riding that is up in this area. So here you have it. Originally, I was going to go with the 300 XCW, but I think that after researching a little bit, the type of scenario that I was in, where I wanted a track bike and a trail bike, I chose to go with the XC model and to build it out. Add some off-road capability, some off-road parts, and then also make sure that it was still good for the track side of things. So to kind of give you a rundown of everything that I've done to this bike so far, I'm not completed with this build, but this is where I am right now. There was 4 main goals that I was looking to accomplish with this bike, right? Is increase the comfort, increase the added protection, increase the performance, and increase range. All of those things basically to help with off-road trail riding, but then also again to help when I go to the track. So to start off, I'd say let's go with the comfort side, right? So comfort, C-Concepts is synonymous with the comfort term, and this seat, I gotta say, is definitely my favorite C-Concept seat that I've actually tried so far. I've had that on multiple bikes, adventure, off-road, everything, but for some reason this seat definitely is one of my favorite as far as just the feel, the comfort. You have this little ridge in the back that kind of flares out, that keeps you kind of in lock with the center of the bike. Another area to add comfort is the Fastway foot pegs. So these are the EXT air pegs. A few years ago I saw these pegs and it was something I'm like, I don't know if that's really my cup of tea. But last year I got to go out with the Offroad Underground crew, and I had the chance to try these pegs, and I was blown away with just the added feel, the added comfort, and then also you can manipulate the way that the bike handles based on like corner entrance, corner exit, going through tight sections. You're able to lean back on the peg and really get more control from the bike and manipulate it a little bit better. Another area which it's not, people don't really think about too much, is the handlebars. I didn't like the stock handlebars on this bike at all. I felt like there was a lot of vibration through the bar. I just felt it a lot in my hands, and so I went with the Pro Taper bars, and so immediately I could feel the difference as far as less vibes. I just felt more connected to the bike. I actually kept the same bend, but I changed the brand, and it was a noticeable difference from stock. So those are, I'd say, like the main comfort part of the bike. Next, I'd say protection, right? So protection is a big key, mostly when it comes to off-road, right? But what we did is I added the AXP skid plate with the linkage protection, because with this new XC, the 2023 XC model, it has the linkage. The other XCWs have the PDS. So, and again, another reason why I went with this XC is because of the linkage. I've came from Japanese motorcycles. I'm more comfortable with the balance and the way that the bike feels with the linkage, and I felt like if I was going to be riding track more, that's the scenario I wanted. But yeah, to get back, the AXP skid plate, you know, I've used them on majority of my bikes. They're really good. You know, definitely takes a little bit of you know, the worry if you drop it or get hit with the rocks or whatever. Another piece from AXP is the disc guard on the back. So obviously, you know, going through rock gardens and whatnot, the disc guard is super key. There is some radiator guards from AXP, but the ones that I received, they're actually for the older model. And so I'm in the process of getting some radiator guards that are for this model specifically. Another part of the protection would be the Rekluse clutch cover. Now I still have the stock clutch inside of this bike, but basically I wanted to prevent you know, the chance that if you fall over that the brake pedal could punch a hole in the cover, you know, that type of scenario. Again, it's all preventative. A lot of the stuff that I did to this bike is preventative, you know, so that we could go out on the trail, have fun, not have to worry about, you know, dumb little things happening. Something other that's really small is the Moto oil filler cap. You know, the stock plastic one, I didn't want that to break off again. Another preventative piece, and I don't know, I think it looks cool with the anodize and the way that it's designed. And I love tacos, and there's a taco logo on the cap, so that's I kind of bought it for that reason, to be honest. All right, so now on the power side of things, you know, in stock form, the bike is really strong. I mean, the TBI compared to the TPI is night and day difference. I mean, if you're coming from a moto side of things, the TBI, you're gonna feel more comfortable. Another reason why I went with the XC is because of the transmission. I prefer the transmission on the XC model over the XCW. But when I first rode the bike, and I did ride it quite a few times at the track, I did some trail riding, but I just felt like there was maybe, you know, it could have been a little bit stronger on the bottom end, just right out of the hole. And so, you know, called up FMF, we got the new exhaust, and then with the Forest approved silencer on there as well. So right away, it bumped up the bottom end as far as out of the hole, out of the corner, and then it made it stronger through the middle and the top. So I could have gone with the gnarly pipe, but I chose to go the other direction because I wanted more of a you know, a full package where it would go through the power band. So before I put the exhaust on it, I actually was considering putting one tooth up on the rear just to get it a little bit more lively off the bottom and to get it to where I can lug it a little bit more and have that response. But when I installed the exhaust, basically it filled that gap. And so honestly, like, I'm not going to put a different sprocket on the rear as of right now. As of right now, I'm very happy. To kind of talk about the TBI, currently, it seems like there's a little bit of, you know, maybe on the bottom it's a little bit rich, and it could be a little bit cleaner on the top. But I saw as of a couple weeks ago, KTM has an update for the ECU. So I'll be definitely contacting the local dealership and taking it down there for an update, just to get it to where, not so much on the track, but just to get it to where on the trail, on the slow speed stuff, it's not as rich, and so a little bit more snappy on the bottom with the update. Something else to talk about when it comes to the power delivery of this 300 XC is the map switch on the handlebar. This is something that is noticeably tunable, right? So the white map, it's perfect for trail riding. It has this nice long power delivery. You know, it has a decent hit, but it's not going to yank the bars out of your hands. you're able to control it through all the different types of off-road scenarios. And then when you go to the track, you put it on the green map, and man, that green map rips. I swear, I feel like it's more of an SX, you know, style 300 SX power delivery. You know, if you're not in shape and you're not on your toes, it'll definitely wear you out a little bit quicker. So, you know, sometimes I'll even go to the track and put it in the mellow map just to get going. And then once I'm feeling it and warmed up, then you can put it into the second map, the green map. But as time's gone on, it's really cool to see the manufacturers being able to have a clear difference between the mapping. And I think they did a really good job with these two separate maps on this model specifically. Something else that you know is worth talking about, you know, as a lot of you know, the 24s, they now have a spring fork. This 23 model has the air fork on it. You know, as of right now, I don't really have, you know, too many issues with this air fork and the current suspension in the stock form. I actually really enjoy it. As time goes on and I put more hours on the bike, it's actually getting better. Initially, I felt like maybe the forks were a little vague, say mid-corner at the track. But, you know, again, you're trying to cover a lot of bases when it comes to this build in general. I'm trying to make it, you know, do everything that a motocross bike would do on the motocross track and do everything that a, you know, hardcore off-road bike would do off-road. But as it sits right now, all I've done is, you know, adjusted the clickers a little bit, set the sag, and other than that, I mean, it's been amazing. So, you know, once I get a little bit more comfortable and I'm able to, you know, really pick apart what I want from this bike and what I find that I'm going to be riding more. You know, maybe I'll do a spring conversion. Maybe I'll just get it valved. You know, so that's something that we can see down the road. But, you know, as of right now, I think anybody that owns this model is going to be very happy with, you know, the overall performance of the suspension. So anytime you're talking about off-road riding, trail riding, obviously, you're always worried about range. You're always worried about, you know, getting from point A to point B. I went with the IMS 3-gallon tank for this 300XC. I've used IMS on a bunch of my bikes before, and obviously, you know, just went right with it on this one. I feel like I didn't notice any extra weight. It comes down quite a bit on the left side, but I don't notice the extra weight, and, you know, the benefit of the extra range, you can't beat it. So super happy with the IMS setup. All right, so as you can see on this motorcycle, we got the SKDA graphic kit from Offroad Underground. You know, it's really cool. They have a few different versions and colors available. My son's bike has a different color on it, which is really neat. He's stoked because we both have the same graphic kits, but they're a little bit different. Something else that's really cool is that, you know, unlike some other companies out there that are offering graphic kits, you can actually tell them, hey, can you put this logo on it? You know, can you change this sponsor? Can we change this color around? The team over there was really, you know, nice to work with. Great people. You know, as you can see, you know, we got the Offroad Underground on the side, the SKDA, got the Fox logo on it. I got all my personal sponsors on the back. So it just elevates, you know, how pumped you are on your motorcycle when you can customize it to your own deal. So yeah, thanks again to the SKDA guys. So as I mentioned before, this build is ongoing. It's not completed as of yet. There's still a few things that I'd like to do. One of them that I've kind of been both ways is the wraparound handguards. So if you're doing off-road specifically and that's it, the Fastway wraparound handguards are the way to go. I really like them for off-road, but because I am riding motocross as well, I chose to keep these stock ones right now. These things are super beefy. I just like the way they look and the protection that they offer. I do see myself, you know, possibly in the near future going with the Fastway wraparound because again, on the trail, you can't beat it. I mean, to not have to worry about damaging your handlebars when you drop the bikes in the rock gardens and stuff like that, I mean, it's invaluable. Something else that I'm going to do for sure is I already have the headlight casing for it. I'm gonna contact the guys over at Cyclopse. We're gonna get a headlight set up for that. I've been talking to Moto about setting up a different wire harness. I know that there's a stator rewind that is available for this model as well. And so again, trying to accomplish that everything bike, I am going to do, you know, headlight, taillight, make it legit to where you can go, you know, dual sport riding, you can go off-road riding. And then when I go to the track and I'm racing with the motocross bikes out there with the headlight and beating them, you know, that will make them even more mad. So again, this bike is ongoing. There is a few other things that I have my eye on, but you know, the basic package is really good. I think that KTM did an extremely good job with this model. The new updated frame, the new bodywork, the TBI is incredible. So again, it's as I go and I become more familiar with this motorcycle, I'm kind of going to tweak a few pieces and kind of dial it in exactly for how I want it. Yeah, so that's what it is. You know, this is kind of my attempt at creating the everything bike, right? Like this is something that's been debated for a long time. Like, can you make a bike, you know, handle everything that you can throw at it on all sides, right? The track, the trail, everything in between. You know, eventually I'd like to make it fully street legal. So, you know, in that scenario, I think that it's been a successful build, and I'm really excited to put more time on this bike. You know, we're out here in Idaho City right now, and we're looking to, you know, go find some of the good trails. We just got a light rain this morning, so, you know, stay tuned for more, but man, hope to see you out on the trail or the track.